It is just after 5 o'clock in the morning. I am getting ready for a sunrise shoot. It is really early. So this is honestly one of the best parts about where I live. What's up, YouTube? Erin here. If this is the first time that you have seen any of my videos or visited my channel, what I am all about is helping new content creators create video. For those who didn't go to film school, for those who are just realizing that they need to get video content out there, but they haven't dealt much with cameras and editing or anything like that. So this is what this series is all about. To help people just like you to get videos out there. What we're covering today is a certain part of storytelling. One of the things that I think is essential in storytelling is knowing your audience. So that's going to be our first part of our storytelling series, is audience. There's something that's even more important than the content, and that is your audience. Who are you going to be giving this content to? Who are you making these videos for? And ultimately, whether you like it or not, the audience is the most important person in your video. They are the most important subject. They're gonna be the ones who are watching the video. They're gonna be the ones who are liking, commenting, interacting. You're making this for an audience. If you're out there creating video content, you're not making it for yourself. And so essentially they need to be involved in every single step of your process. And when I say involved, I mean thought about, listened to, heard, and interacted with on your side as well. Here's tip number one for incorporating the audience into your storytelling. Make it as easy as possible for your audience to figure out why they're watching your video and why your content is in existence. The easier that you can make the introduction of your content and where you are going with it, the better time you're going to have with your audience understanding what you're doing throughout the rest of the video. Context is super important with video. Make sure you set up your audience to kind of catch what you are going to be throwing. Tip number two, make sure your content is relevant to your audience. Probably the worst thing that you could do is put out content to a specific audience and them not care about it. Make sure you know the audience that you are going for, what they like and what they want. For example, if you decided that you love coffee and you want to make content around coffee, then there's a few things you need to figure out. You can't just make it all about coffee. It's too broad and there's too many things to cover. Does this mean that you make a channel around brewing coffee, roasting coffee, coffee shops, or how coffee's made, or different types of beans, different types of ways to make coffee, different coffee makers, even gear reviews for coffee. So there's many different directions that you could take a specific channel just with something as simple as coffee. So make sure that the videos that you make and the content that you are going to provide your audience is something that is relevant to them, and isn't scattered all over the place. It's honed in and it's specific, and you don't confuse your audience by making content in different areas that they are not expecting. Get to know your audience, make it relevant, and keep that consistency going. So the next thing is to keep your storyline for each video clear and concise throughout the entire video. For example, in this video, I'm talking about how to communicate with an audience as part of my storytelling series. Now, if I were to go off into another scene and talk about different types of lenses and different types of cameras and do a little small mini gear review, yes, it's about video and video production, and it could be valuable to you, but it's not on story. It doesn't make sense in the context of this video. The goal is to have the audience work as little as possible to try and figure out what's going on and what you're doing, and the more that you can communicate exactly what's going on throughout this video, the better time the audience is going to have watching this video. This helped me realize that as a content creator and somebody who is going to put videos on for these people who are also watching videos in distracted environments while they're doing other things, it made me realize the more that I can keep my message on point and the more that I can be very precise with what I'm saying and introduce the topics and not confuse anybody from going in different directions, the better that I can communicate the entire message of the video as a whole to the audience. Tip number 4, and I think this is extremely important, and that is your videos are about your audience and not you. So basically what this boils down to is just because something may look cool, something may sound cool, or something may be cool, it doesn't mean it belongs in your video. A good example that I see a lot of the times with new videos is things like B-roll and just random shots that are incorporated into videos that may look cool, but in context don't make any sense and kind of put the audience out of the element of the video and make you think what's going on here before the video creator gets back into what they were originally making a video for. And just because a certain shot is cool, just because an awesome car drove by and you have that shot of it, doesn't mean that it fits in your video whatsoever. You always have to be thinking with your shots, does this make sense to the audience? Or is this going to take them out of the video and get them distracted? So you always want your shots, no matter, even if it's cool or has a certain quality to it, doesn't mean that it necessarily fits in that exact video that's aimed towards a specific audience. The last tip I have for you guys is to constantly be communicating with your audience. If you're going to be spending 24 hours a day thinking about your audience when making these videos, you need to be interacting and communicating with them as well. You can get some great feedback from your audience, and it's important to understand how your audience is thinking. If you're going to be pouring content into a community, you need to be engaged in the community as well. You need to be always talking and listening to your audience, because your audience is number one and should be always on your mind. You need to be engaged and know what they're thinking and know how to interact with them. Ultimately, they're the ones who are going to be consuming your content, and the better you know your audience, the better that you can then communicate in the future with that group of people. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a nice like. Also, drop a comment down below. I want to know, who are you creating content for, and what's your YouTube channel? Share your content, let's see it, and let's stay hyper-focused on our audience. Subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos in the future, and I will see you guys very soon.